The Royal Rumble 2025 will forever be etched in history as a night when everything changed for both Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. What began as a contest for the Undisputed Championship evolved into an emotionally charged, intensely personal battle, one that would forever alter the careers and legacies of both men. It wasn't merely about the title, it became a story of redemption, respect, and legacy. An unforgettable night where Cody Rhodes defied the odds and achieved the impossible, claiming victory over Kevin Owens and ushering in a new chapter in his journey. The Showdown. Royal Rumble 2025. By the time the Royal Rumble 2025 arrived, the tension between Cody and Owens had reached a fever pitch. What initially began as a fight for the Undisputed Championship had evolved into something much deeper. A clash of wills between two men with everything to lose. This was no longer about just gold. This was about proving to themselves and the world that they were deserving of the title, the spotlight, and the legacy that came with it. For Cody, this match was more than just another opportunity. It was a shot at redemption. It was his chance to prove that he was more than just Dusty Rhodes' son. This was his moment to define himself, to show the world that he was worthy of the Undisputed Championship. Every victory and defeat had been building up to this singular moment. For Owens, the stakes were different. He wasn't fighting for respect or validation. He was fighting for control. He believed that WWE was his to command, and the championship was merely a symbol of his dominance. To Owens, this match was about power and total supremacy, and he wasn't willing to let anyone stand in his way. The battle begins. A clash of wills. From the moment the bell rang, the tension in the arena was palpable. The air was thick with anticipation as Owens and Cody locked eyes across the ring. Owens wasted no time, charging toward Cody with a relentless fury, launching himself into a barrage of devastating strikes. His fists were like hammers, each blow designed to break Cody down physically and mentally. Owens' strategy was simple: overpower Cody and crush his spirit. Cody, though, wasn't going to back down. He had fought too long, too hard, to let Owens bulldoze him. The battle raged on, and while Owens dominated in the early moments, Cody's resilience began to shine through. With every brutal hit, Cody's determination only seemed to grow stronger. Owens would throw him into the ropes, and Cody would fight to stay on his feet, only to return with a fierce counterattack. It wasn't just physical, it was a battle of wills. Cody was fighting for more than just a title. He was fighting for the respect he had long been denied. The crowd sensed the intensity of the match. They had witnessed the fire in Cody's eyes and saw the blood, sweat, and tears he had poured into this moment. Cody wasn't just fighting to win, he was fighting to prove that he belonged, that he was a force to be reckoned with. Each strike from Owens only made him more determined to stay in the fight. Cody's survival instinct kicked into overdrive, and he began to fight back with everything he had. Cody's will to survive. As the match wore on, Owens' brutal assault became more calculated, targeting Cody's limbs and trying to systematically weaken him. Yet, every time it seemed like Owens had Cody cornered, the fight in Cody flared up. It was clear this wasn't just a test of strength, it was a test of heart. Owens had underestimated Cody's willpower. What Owens lacked in the fight for identity, Cody made up for with sheer determination to overcome adversity. Owens' confidence started to waver as Cody continued to battle back. The WWE Universe, sensing the tide turning, began to rally behind Cody. Their cheers echoed throughout the arena, a testament to the emotional investment they had in his journey. They were witnessing something much larger than a match for the Undisputed Championship. They were witnessing the making of a champion, a man who would not be defeated, no matter the cost. The ladder match, escalating the stakes. As the match reached its peak, Owens introduced a steel ladder, and the stakes soared to a whole new level. The ladder was no longer just a tool, it had become a weapon, a symbol of the struggle both men had endured. Owens used it with savage precision, smashing it into Cody's body, bending him and breaking him. The metal rung of the ladder clanged against Cody's flesh, the sound echoing in the arena with an unsettling finality. It was clear that Owens wasn't playing by the rules anymore. This was no longer just a fight for a title. It was a war. But Cody was not deterred. The ladder represented the many obstacles he had faced throughout his career, the moments when he had been knocked down but had risen again. For Cody, it symbolized everything he had worked to overcome in the wrestling world, from his family's expectations to his own self-doubt. Each strike that Owens delivered with the ladder was absorbed by Cody, but it only fueled his resolve. As Owens battered him, Cody's spirit burned brighter, and soon the tide of the match began to turn. In a moment of breathtaking determination, Cody grabbed the ladder from Owens's hands, using it as a weapon of his own. He struck Owens with an intensity that sent shockwaves through the crowd. The audience roared in approval, rallying behind Cody as he began to seize control of the match. With Owens down, Cody climbed the ladder, the championship within arm's reach. It seemed like the culmination of his long journey, the moment he would finally claim the redemption he so desperately sought. The betrayal, a devastating twist. Just as Cody reached for the Undisputed Championship, Owens struck. With a shocking twist, Owens knocked Cody off the ladder, sending him crashing to the mat with a sickening thud. The arena fell silent, the weight of the moment sinking in. What had started as a battle for glory had now turned into something far darker. Owens's strike wasn't just physical, it was an emotional blow that left Cody reeling. But the worst was yet to come. Owens, cold and calculating, delivered the final betrayal. What had once been a mutual respect between the two men was now shattered. Owens, with deliberate cruelty, knocked Cody out of the picture, destroying any hope that Cody had of winning. The WWE Universe, once fully behind Cody, now stood in stunned silence, unable to process the coldness of Owens's actions. It was a move that would leave a lasting scar on Cody and on WWE itself. Aftermath. The emotional toll of betrayal. As Owens stood victorious, holding the Undisputed Championship, the fallout from his betrayal was immediate and profound. The victory, while sweet in Owens's eyes, was tainted. The crowd's boos reverberated around the arena, signalling their disdain for Owens's actions. Owens had claimed the title, but at the cost of his own humanity. For Cody, the emotional devastation was far worse than any physical injury he had sustained. Owens had not only defeated him in the ring, but he had broken him in ways that went beyond the physical. The trust that had once existed between the two men was gone. The bond that they had shared had been utterly destroyed, and with it, Cody's belief in the people he had once called allies. A new era, the fallout of Royal Rumble 2025. The aftermath of Royal Rumble 2025 left the WWE Universe reeling. Kevin Owens may have secured the Undisputed Championship, but his actions had irreparably damaged his standing with the fans and his legacy. The road ahead for Owens would not be a smooth one. His reign as champion would be marred by the betrayal of Cody Rhodes and the psychological weight of his actions. For Cody, though, the battle was far from over. The emotional devastation of betrayal had sparked something inside him, a fire that could not be extinguished. What had been a crushing defeat was now the fuel for his ultimate redemption. Cody was no longer defined by the shadow of his father's legacy or by his loss at the Royal Rumble. He was determined to rise from the ashes of defeat and make his mark on WWE in his own way. The price of victory. Owens' hollow triumph. Owens may have claimed the championship, but the price of that victory was steep. His dominance in WWE had come at a cost that would follow him for the rest of his career. His actions at the Royal Rumble 2025 had tainted his legacy, and now, as champion, Owens would be forever remembered not just for his brutality, but for his betrayal. The road ahead would be a difficult one, and the consequences of his actions would haunt him. Cody's resilience. The road to redemption. Despite the crushing betrayal, Cody Rhodes would rise again. His road to redemption had only just begun. The fire that burned inside him after Royal Rumble 2025 would propel him toward new heights, and the WWE Universe would continue to stand behind him as he sought to reclaim his place atop the mountain. The Royal Rumble 2025 wasn't the end of Cody's story. It was only the beginning. Cody Rhodes would prove, beyond any doubt, that his legacy was his own, and nothing would stop him from achieving greatness. The final climb. Triumph and redemption. Cody Rhodes' journey to the pinnacle of WWE had been anything but easy. His path was littered with obstacles that challenged not just his physical prowess, but his mental and emotional fortitude. He had been forced to overcome not only opponents in the ring, but also the weight of an expectation that was placed on his shoulders from the moment he entered WWE. The legacy of his father, the legendary Dusty Rhodes, was both a blessing and a curse. While his father's name opened doors, it also cast a shadow so large that Cody spent years struggling to define himself, desperate to prove he wasn't just Dusty's son. Royal Rumble 2025 marked the culmination of that struggle. It was no longer just about the Undisputed Championship for Cody. It was a test of everything he had fought for. As he reached for the ladder, poised to climb toward destiny, it wasn't just a physical climb. It symbolized the entire journey he had undertaken. Every painful defeat, every hard-earned victory, every battle fought in the shadows of his father's legacy, all led to this pivotal moment. Each step up that ladder represented a victory in his fight against the world's expectations of him, a victory in his quest to carve out his own identity. As Cody neared the top, the crowd's energy surged. The roar of the WWE Universe reached deafening levels as Cody reached out to grab the Undisputed Championship. For a fleeting moment, time seemed to slow. With the title now firmly in his grasp, he held it aloft, victorious. The arena erupted into a tidal wave of cheers as they celebrated not just the victory of a championship, but the victory of a man who had fought against every expectation, every failure, and every setback to claim his rightful place at the top of the WWE mountain. Cody Rhodes wasn't just a champion, he was a symbol of the strength to overcome adversity. Reflection at the summit. A moment of fulfillment. The noise of the crowd faded to a distant hum as Cody Rhodes stood at the summit of the ladder, the Undisputed Championship in his hands. He took a moment, standing tall and proud, allowing himself to breathe in the magnitude of the moment. The climb had been grueling, both physically and emotionally, but now, at the peak, he could finally savour the fruits of his labour. This wasn't just a title win for Cody, it was the culmination of a lifetime of struggle and determination. For so long, he had carried the weight of his father's legacy, a burden that both inspired and suffocated him. As he stood at the top of that ladder, gazing at the championship in his hands, Cody had proved to the world, and to himself, that he was his own man. He wasn't just Dusty Rhodes' son anymore. He had carved his own path, overcoming the odds, silencing the doubts, and now, standing in the spotlight, he had earned the respect and admiration of everyone who had ever questioned his worth. For a moment, Cody allowed himself to reflect. This victory wasn't just for him, it was for his father, Dusty Rhodes, who had always dreamed of seeing his son reach this height. Dusty's shadow had always loomed large over Cody's career, but now, in that brief moment of triumph, Cody had fulfilled the dream that Dusty had never fully realized. It was as if Dusty was standing there with him, beaming with pride. The title was a tribute to Dusty's legacy, a reflection of the years of hard work and sacrifice they both had put in. But it was also a reflection of Cody's own growth, a new beginning for a man who had proven his worth not just as a son, but as a legend in his own right. A new beginning, the start of a legacy. Cody's victory at Royal Rumble 2025 was a watershed moment in his career, but it was only the beginning of something far greater. The Undisputed Championship was no longer just a belt. It was a symbol of his hard-won redemption. The emotional scars from Owens' betrayal, though still fresh, would serve as a constant reminder of his resilience. He had overcome the darkness that Owens had unleashed, and in doing so, he had proven that his will to succeed was unbreakable. But with this victory came a new set of challenges. Holding the Undisputed Championship was no easy feat. The title was now a target, and Cody would have to defend it against some of the fiercest competitors WWE had ever seen. Every match, every defense would be an opportunity for Cody to solidify his place at the top. And he was ready. This victory was never just about reclaiming a championship. It was about proving to himself and the world that he had the endurance to stand the test of time. No matter how many opponents came after him, Cody would be prepared to fight and defend the legacy he had worked so hard to build. His victory was a statement. He wasn't going anywhere. The emotional cost. Owens' betrayal and its fallout. Though Cody stood victorious, the weight of Kevin Owens' betrayal still lingered in the background of his celebration. Owens had been more than just an opponent. He had been a friend, a comrade, a partner in arms. Their bond had been forged through mutual respect, but Owens' actions had shattered that trust. As much as the betrayal had spurred Cody's rise to redemption, it had come at a deep emotional cost. The pain of that treachery would not fade easily. For Cody, the victory would never be as sweet as it should have been, not with the knowledge that Owens had intentionally driven a wedge between them. The scars of that betrayal ran deep, and it would take time for Cody to heal. For Owens, his victory felt hollow. Yes, he held the Undisputed Championship, but the path he had taken to get there had irrevocably damaged his legacy. Once a fan favourite, Owens was now a pariah in the eyes of the WWE Universe. His betrayal of Cody had soured any potential celebration of his title win. Though he stood atop WWE, the crown was tarnished. The respect he once commanded, now replaced with skepticism and distrust. Owens had won the war, but the emotional toll of his actions would haunt him. Cody, on the other hand, had lost much in that battle, but gained so much more. The betrayal had ignited a fire in Cody's soul, a renewed sense of purpose. He had emerged from the darkness, and it was clear that his road to redemption had just begun. The beginning of a new era. Cody Rhodes at the helm. As the dust settled on Royal Rumble 2025, WWE found itself at a crossroads. The rise of Cody Rhodes marked the start of a new era, one where the principles of resilience and determination would take centre stage. Cody had been forged in the fires of struggle, and his victory had reshaped the landscape of WWE. His journey from the shadows of his father's legacy to the top of the company was nothing short of extraordinary. With the Undisputed Championship securely around his waist, Cody became the face of WWE's new generation. His story was one that the WWE Universe could rally behind, a story of overcoming the odds, of refusing to be defined by failure, and of fighting to create a legacy that was uniquely his own. The crowd, once divided, now stood united behind him, inspired by his unrelenting spirit and his ability to rise from the ashes of defeat. Cody was no longer just a champion. He was a symbol of hope for anyone who had ever felt overlooked or misunderstood. He had proven that no matter how many times you fall, what truly matters is the strength to get back up. And for Cody, the fight was far from over. Legacy. The road ahead. Cody Rhodes' journey to the Undisputed Championship was the stuff of legend. His rise had been marked by hardship, betrayal, and struggle, but it had ultimately forged him into a champion who was ready to face whatever the future held. But what would come next? What challenges would Cody face as the defending champion? The WWE Universe had already witnessed his strength and resolve, but there was no guarantee that the road ahead would be easy. The target on his back was bigger than ever. But if there was one thing Cody had shown the world, it was that he could handle anything that came his way. The legacy of Cody Rhodes was just beginning. Every defense of the title, every battle he fought, would add another layer to the story of a man who had refused to be defined by his past failures. Each match would be another opportunity for Cody to prove that he wasn't just a fleeting champion. He was a force to be reckoned with. The road ahead for Cody Rhodes would be filled with new challenges, new rivals, and new battles. But he had already shown that he was more than capable of meeting them head-on. As WWE's future unfolded, one thing was certain. Cody Rhodes was here to stay, and his legacy would continue to be written with every fight he took on.